and evil and all of that stuff. All those stories are basically of people with lower functioning selves and possession and stuff. Is, you know, when your lower functioning self basically, takes over you, and it's like you're being possessed. But possession and all those things are really, I believe, just your lower self coming out. Your higher self is being inhibited in some way, and it's spirit. I believe it's spiritual as well as scientific. It can be viewed from both ways, and I do view it from both ways, and I believe in both ways actually, because the spiritual way is more energetic, whereas the physical way is like your higher functioning brain is not working properly at that point, and your lower functions are taking over, which are brainstem area or all the lower mind areas. And we all came from basic neurons. We the first brain was probably a basic neuron. It was a basic way of sensing the world, and it just all built up from there. It built up in complexity and layers on top of layers. So the older layers are always still there. So, and they're more embedded, so you can't get away from the lower function. You can only understand it through the understanding of the higher functions of the brain, and how we can function more in those areas and more in the intelligent areas of the like intuition rather than instinct, and love rather than hate, and rather than the fight or flight from the dog-eat-dog world view of the world. We can get into a more thriving view, not survival of the fittest, but the thriving of the symbiotic, working together in harmony and creating abundance through harmony. And those are the lower areas of the brain that I was talking about. And basically, all of us have the lower self, the demonic self, if you were to call it possession, or reptilian self, if you're going to call it reptiles, or any of those negative aspects of yourself are still there. They're buried deep in your brain, and that's why during extreme situations it comes out, and we can learn to control it through deepening our pathways. It'll always be there, but we can become our higher selves, if you will, by letting our lower selves be, and just living more in the higher self. So that's my first video. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your patience with me stumbling a little bit. So that's it. Thank you. Goodbye. I'll see you soon.